Welcome to the Entertainment Rants Podcast, your number one opinion source for all things entertainment. Join host Marco Mazzola as he sounds off on the latest movies, TV, music, gaming, comic books, and more. Now, here's the man of the hour, Marco Mazzola.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Entertainment Rants Podcast. I am, as always, your host, Marco Mazzola. And I'm joined again by our ranters, Mila and Larry.
Hey.
All right, gang. No Bruno again this week. We were lucky enough to have him on the phone for our Breakfast Club review. But again, he's away. He's watching the kids. He's doing his dad thing. So we got our three of us together to talk about Rocky.
I'm almost glad, honestly, that another Italian is in here to outweigh this side.
This would be
during this Rocky movie.
Yeah.
I'm not
gonna
say
it would be a guinea fest. It would really be
I didn't say it.
I'll say it all day long because I don't get offended. I don't care about the snowflakes who get offended by words. It's a fucking word, and I don't care.
It's a word.
I don't care what its meaning was. I don't care what its meaning is. It's a fucking word. And so, get over yourself. But anyway, and I grew up with it. I grew up with all those words, and I could give a shit less. Call me anything you want. Just don't call me late for dinner.
Don't call me late for dinner, please.
All right, so, we're talking about Rocky, Sylvester Stallone. We're going to talk about Rocky 1, but we'll, most likely hit into the rest of the franchise. There's a lot of meat on the bone here for all the different, maybe stay away from, I don't even know if we'll stay away from Creed. That's almost part of the franchise.
I have yet to watch that.
Any one of them?
Any one of them. And it's not that I don't want to. I really wanted to. Yeah. I've been busy. But especially with Creed 3 coming out. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, shit.
You're kind of behind. You're like way behind.
Yeah, and I'm like, wow, I need to get into this.
Yeah, they were pretty good. But we'll get there. All right. Rocky, Sylvester Stallone. Written and not directed.
Not directed. It was written and starred.
And who directed it again? I got my.
Nike's.
Very famous. I should have that up. I was trying to, and then we ran out of time there.
I should probably have this up.
Right. Let's see. Here we go. Directed by John G. Avildsen.
Yes.
Okay. Sure. Wrap my name around that name.
Sure.
All right.
All right, so you got the IMDb up?
I do. 1976, the year I was born, is when this movie first came out. A small time, as they say, Philadelphia boxer gets a supremely rare chance to fight the world heavyweight champion, in a bout which he strives to go the distance for his self-respect. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. So basically, Rocky, small town Philadelphia, amateur boxer. Is now trying. He wants to make it a big time, and he gets this really. I don't remember how. We'll get into that.
It's not even that he wanted to.
Yeah. Talk to me about that.
All right. The way that this breaks down is Apollo Creed is the heavyweight champ of the world.
Played by Carl Weathers.
He's in Philadelphia because he has a championship fight on January 1st. It's the bicentennial year. Again, 1976. Yep. So it's the bicentennial year, and he's going to fight. Where else would you fight except in Philadelphia, like the founding place? And what ends up happening is the
birthplace of the nation.
Right, the guy that he's supposed to fight gets hurt. So he can't fight.
Yeah.
So then they're sitting there in the office and they're like, what are we going to do? We got to fight this guy. We got to get this fight out.
And no one can do it last second.
No, nobody can do it last second. And Carl Weathers is like, we need to get this fight. Because Carl Weathers is very much he's all about the image. And
yes.
It was loosely based on, his character was loosely based on Muhammad Ali with the flamboyancy and always in the people public and this and that. So they were trying to find a fighter, and they can't fight it. They can't find a fight because everybody else that is a professional boxer, they're like, they're not going to take it because they can't get ready in 5 weeks.
Right.
Yeah. So they were going to cancel it. And Apollo Creed goes, not on my watch. We're going to find something. He goes, I got a great idea. We're going to give somebody, a local boxer, some local boxer, we're going to give him the opportunity.
The chance of a lifetime.
To fight the champ for the belt. The idea is because it's a big commercial promo, right? Yeah. Because he's like, look.
But he doesn't really intend, Rocky doesn't intend to get the championship. He's just about going the distance.
Listen, when he first goes into the office, and I got some.
In the 12th round.
When he goes into the office, so he first goes thinking that he's just going to be a sparring partner for Apollo Creed training. Right. When he gets to the promoter's office, he's like, no, you don't understand what's happening here. This isn't for a sparring partner. This is for the chance fight him for the belt. Rocky goes, no, I don't think so. That ain't me.
Yeah.
He's like saying no to this once in a lifetime. And he's going to get $150,000 for this fight. And he's
1976 money now.
1976 money. Listen,
that's serious money.
That's like $1 million.
Huge.
Oh, yeah.
Bruno, where are you at with that?
Oh, shit. Where's the inflation?
He'd probably already have
He'd
it.
be all over, right? But yeah, so he's supposed to get $150,000. And Rocky said, he's like, no, I don't think I can do that. And he's like saying, no, I'm not going to take this opportunity in a lifetime. But obviously he takes it, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And again, the whole idea for him was, I just want to make it. I just want to go the distance. Nobody's going the distance. And so then they have, which was an awesome fight. He doesn't
win the championship.
Oh yeah, he doesn't win,
which I think is fantastic.
I love that. I thought it was
he wins
awesome.
it in the second movie.
Not only does he not win in this movie, he doesn't even give a shit what the outcome is. Because at the end, because I wrote this down, we're gonna go right to the end. Right at the end of the movie, all he gives a shit is, where's Adrian? He wants Adrian.
And on top of that, it's so funny because in that moment we're with Rocky screaming for Adrian, and then it's in the background. It's in the background noise going like, Apollo Creed won. Oh my god!
Yeah, and
he's like,
awesome.
"Oh, where's Adrian?" You know,
that's all he cares about.
Is that he lasted through the 12 rounds.
Right,
that's 12 rounds, and he wants Adrian.
You know,
that's
in his head, he won what he wanted to do.
Yeah,
he accomplished what he wanted to do.
It's actually very reminiscent of. Did you guys ever watch Balboa?
Oh yeah.
No.
So in Balboa, it ends the same way. So spoiler for those of you who haven't seen Balboa, it's the last Rocky movie. Doesn't call it Rocky, it's Balboa. It's the end, right? So the first movie was called Rocky, the last movie is called Balboa.
Oh, that's funny.
Because then it goes to Creed after that.
Right.
Start the Creed.
And then the last one of those is going to be Apollo.
Be backwards. So the premise of that movie was, it was like,
Tarantino.
Rocky's he's done boxing. He's like an Italian restaurant owner, and his job, like when people go to Rocky's restaurant, as he goes and he talks to people about the old days, the old stories.
Right.
And they're watching ESPN, and the time was the heavyweight champ. They had it on like, if you took these two boxers, who would win in a match today?
Yeah, like Muhammad Ali versus Mike Tyson.
Right. So they did that kind of thing.
In their primes.
In their primes. And it was it's Rocky Balboa, and I forget the character's name, but it's the real boxer is Antonio Tarver, I believe. And so they have the CompuBox score has Rocky Balboa winning in his prime. So that became a thing. So they end up fighting. And they go at it.
Really?
Rocky goes a distance, but his whole thing, just like in part one, I don't care about winning and losing. I just want to go. And he goes a distance. Obviously, he loses.
He should not be doing this.
Right. He's
I'm like, how old is he now?
No. Well, not just age. After fighting Drago, he's so fucked up in his brain.
They basically said,
one more shot and you're done.
And you're
dead. You've got head, hands, legs. Everything goes.
So that's kind of how they end it. So it's he started off in Rocky 1 with him not even giving a shit if he won or not. He just want to go the distance. He wants Adrian, to the bookend of it. He doesn't care about winning. He just wants to do it one more time. It's all I got, Adrian. It's all I got. So he does that one last match. It was awesome. I like Balboa a lot, and I know that we jumped over all
fine.
of them.
It's fine.
I thought that's
one
what
thing I did like in going through the whole series that until you get to Creed, Adrian's there the whole time.
Yes.
Like they don't kill her off until Creed. That's now further on, she's gone.
Right.
Right. But like the entire Rocky series,
that's cool.
She's there.
I really like that she's always there.
And Talia Shire wanted to do it. She was still doing it at the end.
Yep.
I like that continuity.
That's cool.
And I like when actors do that and they don't go like, well, I've done 3 of them. I'm not doing 4 and 5.
Nobody
fucking know who you are. You know what I mean? Like, just go do it. Like the fans want it. You're really good. It keeps the continuity, and she did. She didn't have to.
Yeah. But
she liked it that much. She still did the last ones.
Right.
Didn't have a huge part, but she was there.
She was there.
Let me tell you something. So watching this movie, there's a lot of deep dives, a lot of fun facts.
I'm sure there are.
Yeah, just getting the movie made.
Yeah.
So I was going to start there actually, and it was made for $960,000. That was their budget. $960, and I forgot to look.
That is chump change, right?
That's chump change.
Jesus.
And I'm trying to remember what was like the Superman 4 and He-Man.
That was wasn't that 700 and something?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Right. So this has a little bit more budget than that.
Yeah.
Which kind of still surprised me, but their budget was done It was under $1 million. At box office is $250 million, by the way. So they got their money back there.
Jesus.
It was done. It was filmed in 28 days.
Yep.
28 days. There's a lot of guerrilla work going on, guerrilla camera work.
Yeah.
The scene where Rocky's running through the market, that's the street market, and everybody's
Right.
like watching. You're watching it, the movie, going, "Wow, look at they're all watching Rocky." No.
They're
those
watching
are
this actor running
They're,
through
they're
this,
watching
the
this.
market.
They're watching this
'Cause
person
they weren't
run.
like prepped per se.
And just this other
They
dude
weren't like stand-ins.
with a rig.
No, that was real. They were just like, "What the hell's going on?" So that's what you see.
Oh.
They have no idea why
Yeah,
there's a
it
guy
was, like,
running and there's
cleared,
a
and they put
camera.
a bunch
And they're
of, like,
like,
extras
Right.
in there going, "Okay, everybody, we're gonna do this." Like, no,
Oh, that's
you
so
run.
cool.
We're
They didn't
gonna
have
fucking
money.
run. All these other people are gonna be in the movie.
They didn't have money.
Oh my God,
for
that's so
extras.
cool.
Okay, a lot of their wardrobe is their own wardrobe. That's their actual clothes. Like they didn't have money for props.
He's
So a
really
lot
just
of-
running through this
That's legit.
market.
He's just running through the market. So a lot of the money that they had were basically just to kind of pay people. The biggest thing that they had budget was makeup. Because of
Yeah.
you
right.
needed that,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
You
Yeah.
need to make it
Either
look
that or
like he's
really
getting
beat the
punched
shit
in the
out
eye.
They chose not that route.
Right. So it's like
Really punch him, his eye will swell.
right. So like a lot of those props, like the pictures on Rocky's mirror, those are real pictures. Those are his pictures. There's a picture of when they're in Adrian's house, right, with Paulie. There's a picture. I don't know if you noticed. There's a picture of Paulie in a naval uniform. That was from a movie. That was a prop from a movie that Burt Young did like 2 years
No.
prior.
No.
Yeah, so he had that
Oh my
picture.
God, that's
he
so
put
funny.
So they use that as a prop just to kind of
That's
show
awesome.
you kind of where.
So like having to get a Navy uniform and take a picture of him. He already had one.
Right, he already had it. So a lot of these parts,
Amazing.
the reason why Talia Shire looks the way she does is because she's going through the flu. As they were filming this, she had the flu, so that's why she looks kind of like sickly and
drab.
She's fighting the flu.
That was her character. But
Yeah,
there's-
right.
So it's like you see these.
Wow.
I read these things and I'm like, I mean, it all makes sense, but it just goes to show
Yeah.
the extent that these people were willing to do to put. You know, I got to give a lot of credit to Sylvester Stallone for this because this was his movie.
Yeah,
he wrote it.
Fought for this. They didn't want him to do it. They didn't want him to act in
They
it.
wanted to know it. They wanted a known actor, and he was
He's
like,
"Fuck
no,
no, it's my movie. I wrote this.
This got
Right.
rewritten like 3-4 times too. By the way, like he first came with it. Like the part of Mickey, that character was supposed to be like super racist.
Yep.
And the end of the
Wait,
movie,
which one was Mickey?
His manager, his coach,
Oh.
the old
Burgess
Burgess
Meredith.
Meredith. The
Oh,
Penguin.
right.
He originally he was supposed to be racist, and the end of the match where he fights Apollo, it was supposed to be that he throws the fight because Rocky didn't want to be a part of that world.
Right.
So that was like the original. That was part of the original script, and they were like, "We can't do that. Like, let's
Yeah.
go away from
Maybe
that."
change it up a little
Granted,
bit.
this is
Yeah.
1976, but you have to understand. I mean, that was still a huge part of like the realness of it, right?
Yeah.
So that's why, like, I have to give a lot of credit to Sylvester Stallone. He wrote it. He needed to be the star. He needed to act in it.
Yep.
And he's only and I was reading too. It's like he's only one of only a couple movies that got nominated and or won where the writer and the star were the same person.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
it won Best Movie, Best Director, I believe. I was just looking at it, but not Best Actor. It also won Best Editing for the Oscars that year.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
this was
He was nominated, but they were all nominated.
Yeah.
Talia Shire, Burt Young, they were all nominated for awards for the Academy, like Best Supporting Actor, or whatever.
Right.
Nobody won except for the director and the movie itself.
Yeah. I mean, and also that
Yeah.
launched careers, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
Well, one of the biggest reasons why Talia Shire jumped in is because she wants to get out of the shadows of her brother. Her brother's Francis Ford Coppola.
yeah.
She's like, I have no idea. Yeah, he's big, The Godfather. So she wants to get out of his shadow. So that's why she did this. Original, Cher was the original actress that
Cher.
Sylvester Stallone wanted.
What a decision.
I don't think it plays right.
No.
Interesting.
Yeah, but
I
it was
think
supposed to be
she's too
Cher.
tall, and I think she's just too.
Oh, she's super. I mean, well, in comparison to
tall.
him, I mean, I think Sylvester Stallone's like 5'6", maybe.
Yeah, she was a tower to him.
Damn.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
and
way
Talia
too
Shire
tall.
is not. So I think, and I don't think she comes off as mousy.
Yeah, and that was a big
Yeah, no.
part of
Too
it.
confident, too
Yeah.
out
There is-
there, her personality. Yeah,
She was
and
really,
not that she doesn't have range. I mean, she's done some amazing roles.
Oh, yeah,
but
absolutely.
It's kind of hard to see her.
but I think
Right,
after we've seen Talia Shire play Adrian, I don't see anybody else doing it.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
You know,
yeah, she was perfect.
Yeah, we talk about like the roles that people are just kind of like born to do.
Yeah.
I can't if they were to remake this, I can't unsee that. It has to be her. Like she crushed it.
Yeah,
she
she did.
nailed it. You know, again,
Absolutely.
as the years go on, and you know the lifestyle changes. They went from like the poor streets in Philly to like now he's got the mansion in part 3, right? You know, and everything's
And it loses everything.
loses everything. Like because he
5.
lost the eye. He lost the eye of the tiger. That's when he has to go fight. He has to switch fight. He has
Yeah, but
to switch.
he lost all of his fortune.
Yes. Oh yeah. Sorry, no, I'm sorry.
Becomes like
I was thinking
Paulie
of-
basically becomes the executor
That's
of his
right.
estate and fucks everything up. Like he signs over shit to the lawyers, like what do you call it, power of attorney?
Yeah.
Basically not knowing what the fuck he was doing. So when they went to Russia to fight Drago, he had signed over all this shit to the lawyer and they fucking robbed him blind. So by the 5th movie, he's back living in the slums basically in Philadelphia, back as like a one bedroom tenement.
Yeah. So in part
essentially.
5, part 5 sucked. I hated
All
part
of it.
5.
Yeah, it fucking drove me crazy.
Hated part 5.
So it was a complete circle because, you know.
So was
in the
part
first-
5 when he's in the slums again?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's back there.
When he's
and
fighting Tommy in the
his
streets.
kid, He's fighting Tommy
They don't
Gunn.
fight in the streets.
He's fighting Tommy Gunn. So that wasn't even like a in the ring boxing movie. Like he started to train this guy Tommy Gunn to be a boxer, and then Tommy goes with this big time promoter, and then ends up fighting Rocky in the streets. So it was like what the trouble was, like you had Rocky in the first one, who was kind of not the smartest or the sharpest tool in the shed. Right. But then over time, by 3, he seems more educated and worldly. He doesn't talk as stupid. And he doesn't even have like that sort of like, hey,
Yeah, he's not
that
punch drunk throughout
He's
it.
not punch drunk the entire movie.
Yeah.
He actually seems like he belongs like with the Porsche and the mansion. And then all of a sudden by 5, he's that way again because he got the shit kicked out of him by Drago and it really fucked up his brain. So he's like slurring again and talking like he belongs in the street.
Part 3 was good.
Comes full
fights,
circle.
Part 3 is when he fights Mr. T.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude,
No way.
Oh, dude. Oh, yeah, Clubber Lang.
What?
We'll get there.
Mila,
But like,
yeah.
My
He fights
favorite
Mr. T.
My favorite part. 3 is great because he fights Mr. T. But my favorite part is the very beginning when he fights Hulk
Thunderlips.
Hogan. And the Thunder Lips, and they're like, he's walking. He's already in the ring, and he's like, why are they carrying him? They're like, he's not. He's walking because he's so much taller. They're like, he thought they were carrying Hulk Hogan into the ring. He's like, why are they carrying him? They're not. He's
they're
walking.
not, he's walking.
Oh my
He's like,
God.
It was a great movie.
He gets into the ring, and Sylvester Stallone's like up to Hogan's chest. His
Oh my
face is out,
God.
like looking at his chest, like that's how much does. Like, oh shit! And it's supposed to be just like an exhibition match.
Yeah, it was just for
Right.
funsies.
Yeah, that was really fun.
That's
But back
hilarious.
to the original though. This movie again.
Oh, second side note, this is one more time I'll tangent on this one of the original. So I saw they created a new toy line.
Okay.
Like all these years later, it was like an anniversary toy line of the original Rocky movies. So it was 30th anniversary, whatever the fuck it was. So they came up with this entire toy line of Rocky 1, 2, Apollo, all this bullshit. And they came up. It's like they really went deep. There was one toy. It was just the side of beef.
That's hilarious.
Amazing.
It was literally that's all you got. It
Just
wasn't.
the
It wasn't like
side of
an accessory to a figure. It was just the.
It was
fucking side of
that
beef.
was the figure.
I love
And that
that.
thing is like expensive now.
Of
If you want to
course
try
it
to
is.
find
That's
just the beef.
hilarious.
Somebody's like, yeah, that'll fucking work. Why not? We don't have to
Why
sign over
not?
licensing rights.
I mean, not
Everyone already knows,
the,
Enough of
the
that
beef
is-
isn't
that-
going to come looking for likeness rights.
Right, but here's the thing though. Also, like you were probably just about to say, is everybody knows the side of beef. Because
Right?
It beats the shit out
Yeah.
of it.
Fucking sold the side of beef.
Right. It's-
You can sell
that's
anything
the side
to
of beef.
anybody.
It says Rocky on
mean-
it. It's beef.
I
Go
mean,
get it. Buy it.
not for nothing.
And everyone goes,
Fucking
okay.
figures
The
sold
old-
a million.
The only other product that you could put that kind of stands up to the beef is if you made a toy that was a glass of 6 eggs, you knew exactly what it was.
Yep. Exactly.
Because that's
It's got Rocky stapled on. You don't even have to staple Rocky on it. You just go.
That's what I'm saying.
It's
You
the
know
glass
you're
of
right.
eggs,
I'll pull it
and
and find it if it was
with big
fucking
letters
funny.
that say, "You know what this is from,"
Yep.
and you go, "I do." How much is it?
Yeah, of course.
I need that. All right, go ahead.
So when we kind of like just walk through this, with the opening music, dun, 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 dun,
Unforgettable.
dun.
Yep.
You watch this movie, I don't care if it's the first time or the 101st time.
Yep.
You hear that music and you're like, it's about to start. Like there is some shit gonna happen. Like
Oh, yeah.
amped. Like, I listen to this and I'm ready. Like you said.
Oh, yeah.
After this movie, you want to go do push-ups.
Right, yeah.
You know?
Or like those one-handed push-ups to the side that he's doing. I'm like, oh, I got to do a few of those.
I mean, this movie, again, from the opening credits, you hear that opening score and you're ready.
I gotta tell you, when it got to that point, like in the middle of the movie, when it actually plays the theme, like Flying Higher, I was grinning like a mother. Oh my God.
But he's running up the steps. You're like,
oh my God. He did that to his play. He's doing stuff. Oh my God. I was so hyped. Like right by then, I was like, oh my God, this is so good. Awesome.
So this movie, because it was done the way it was, as far as like, budgeting and actors doing a lot of stuff, there's a lot of like crazy fun facts behind this movie. And I think most of it is the allure of this movie is all like the fun facts behind it. Oh, and all the help that he needed to get.
Exactly.
Like his brother, Frank Stallone, which in himself he did a lot of B movie shit. Decent actor. He was the lead singer of the doo-wop group that was around the barrel of
Really?
fire. So yeah, that's his the lead singer is his brother, which is also the same guy when he's walking with Adrian. And the guy comes out of the shadows like, hey, look, it's the bum from the shadows. That's his brother, Frank.
Oh, my God.
So he needed to, like, kind of, I guess you could say needed to, but he leaned on a lot of people for that side help. And they needed to cut, like, a lot of corners to try to make it feel like a full movie.
Yeah. And when it has stuff like that, like a budget so small and, like only so many things that you have to do it, you get so many more little neat things, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I love the fact that one that I know is he's still Sylvester Stallone still has the turtles.
Yeah, Cuff
he
and
still
Link.
has Cuff and Link.
Yep.
I think that's
side
so
of meat
cool.
figure averagely sells for around $60.
Jesus.
$60 for a side of beef?
90, 120, yeah.
Damn.
So Cuff and Link
Yeah.
still has. The
That's
dog
so cool.
was actually his. That was his dog.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
That was
really?
Butkus is
It's
brother.
listed as his in the credits. It's
Yes.
what's his name? Rufus or
Butkus.
Butkus Stallone is the.
Butkus Stallone.
So that dog has passed since,
Sure.
right?
Well, yeah.
Another little interesting side. Sylvester Stallone needed money. He sold Butkus or pawned Butkus for $50.
He pawned Butkus away.
A week later, he got the money, went back and grabbed him back. So yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Someone. Do you notice about halfway through the movie he's not smoking anymore?
Yeah, didn't he pluck the guy plucked a cigarette out of his mouth and he's like, you're not doing that anymore.
Yeah, that was real. So not that he quit smoking while he was doing that movie.
You're
While they were
kidding.
filming, he quit smoking because he was running out of breath.
Yeah,
he
that'll do it.
couldn't breathe anymore.
Oh my God.
So here he is. He's
He
trying
was
to be
like
a boxer. Yeah.
scene.
Right.
Yeah, very
So
athletic
he's trying.
scenes.
He's trying to be like a boxer or whatnot. But he can't breathe.
Yeah.
So he had to, he legit quit smoking while he was filming that.
Wow.
So when you see that part, Okazo, when he goes, and you're all done doing this because
That's the last time he did it.
For the most part, yeah, that's kind of like the last time.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, again, and
Oh my
that's what I
God, it's
really
good.
like about these low budgeted movies, and especially if they're good, right?
Yeah.
because you hear about all these things and all these sacrifices and all these literally life altering moments that they had.
Yeah.
And that was just
That's insane. There's so much about this movie that's insane.
Yeah, there's a lot of great stories for movies like this when they're just guerrilla,
Right.
basically movie making.
yeah.
But
I mean,
just
up
straight from
until
bottom to the
this
barrel to get it
movie,
made.
there was only 2 other movies that used the still camera. And the guy who did it was the creator, and he's the guy who was behind the camera in Rocky.
Wow.
He created the still camera, so that's why when so we got the when he was running through the
Marketplace.
market. Thank you.
Yep.
So running through the market when the reason why you see him running along the water is because they saw the boat in the background, which has been in 4 other movies.
Yeah.
It's a really cool shot. And he was like, we should run, get out. He gets out of the van, he starts running, and he basically was just following him. He had the side door open, and he was just filming him.
That's insane.
All right, let's
oh my
get him back in the
God.
van. Yeah, it was...
You're like, get out. We got to film this right now.
Because it was like, oh, this is perfect.
We got the rig.
The stair scenes that Philadelphia, when he's running up the library stairs,
Yeah.
which are now known as the Rocky Stairs,
Yeah.
that was filmed on the same day, except we see beginning, which is the first time we see him running up, and he's kind of running out of breath.
Yeah, and he has
Then
to, walk the rest of them.
The next time you see him, he flies up them.
Yep.
That was filmed on the same day. But it was, you could see by the sunrise and sunset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're not, you don't necessarily know that.
No.
But in real life, that was filmed on the same day.
But imagine a lot of outside location shoots you have to do.
Yeah,
You don't have time to
that's
go back
things like that.
and
I would
reset it
kind of
up.
assume.
Yeah, you don't really have time.
A statue there too? No.
Now they
the
do, yeah.
statue was
That was
there at
recent.
the top of the stairs for a long time, but then they moved it.
Okay.
It was moved down to down lower to the to the left
Oh,
side.
yeah,
or like
off,
that.
off to the side, yeah.
He actually visited not that long ago. He was there. They did
That's
the
cool.
signing
Yeah.
and photo ops and stuff like that. Yeah, because it's still there.
You kind of gotta.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, you
yeah.
gotta. If it's such a public space, come on.
Yeah.
What else do I have here?
Larry, what more infinite knowledge do you have
nuggets
about
of
Rocky?
goodness do you
Yeah,
have
no,
on the
listen,
movie?
I
What more
love
in
this
this gold
movie,
mine
man.
do
This
you
movie
got?
is so good.
Anything from other movies?
Oh, I didn't dig into those
deep
that
dive
much.
on
Yeah,
the
You just
No,
watched
I
them and you were like, oh yeah,
No,
a Rocky movie.
I dove in
There
this
is enough
one.
on this movie. You don't really need to, but the other
Yeah.
ones are.
right,
Yeah.
The
yeah.
other ones are more Hollywood, produced because this one was such a huge hit and an Oscar
Exactly.
winner.
Yeah, that
They
tends
kinda
to
took
be
the
how it
reins
be.
and okay, this is a winner. Let's go.
If
with
it's like
it.
the first movie super duper cheap, the next movies are not going to be.
No.
Well, exactly, because they
Big
can do a
rebate.
bigger
Because now
picture,
you actually
yeah.
have a budget to
Yeah,
use,
and you can
right?
do
especially
everything.
if you win an Oscar.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And you
Multiple,
know what?
actually.
you're gonna get a couple bucks for that.
And here's,
Three
and here's the
Oscars.
thing that I really like about the whole Rocky franchise, though, because obviously they get, at this point, Sylvester Stallone is a known actor. You know,
Yes.
he does part 2. He's doing the Rambo franchise. The Rambo franchise blows the fuck up with cartoons and
I remember that cartoon.
That cartoon was awesome, man. Halloween costumes and this. So, and Rocky was right there with it. It never lost that thing that made Rocky such a good movie, even though the budget was all there.
Yeah.
And you could see because the budget gets better, you could see that things are progressive, but it never, Rocky 4, when he goes to Russia, that was that's straight up big time Hollywood budget,
Yeah.
but that was still a really good movie.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Rocky 3 was still almost, it
The whole
wasn't as
beginning
guerrilla.
with Apollo doing the demonstration with Ivan.
Yeah.
He comes in, so you know what I mean? The America song. It's like, you got James Brown playing
Yeah.
in the back, right? Yeah, that was great.
That was probably,
Yeah.
Coming to America, that's great.
I'm just trying to think,
'Cause he was the showman. He was the showman.
well, that's,
you know what I mean? So-
again,
When he came
was
in on
supposed
the-
to be
the George Washington.
the George Washington
boat,
horse?
I was like,
the boat, right,
the
right,
boat.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, you're not in the George Washington
Yeah.
boat right now.
Oh, yeah.
Because Rocky walks in like, hey guys, hey, shaking hands, what's up?
Hey, what's
and he
going
goes,
on?
"Brr, brr, brr," and it's like, I'm like, he got a wig on and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, confetti.
So above the ring, on the drapes there,
Yeah.
there's one picture of Apollo and his getup, and then there's a picture of Rocky and his getup.
Right, and the pants are wrong.
The pants are wrong.
Yeah.
That was done on accident, clearly. Because in the
Right.
poster, I think the pants has got white with red stripes.
Right,
In
yeah.
actuality, it was the other way around.
Yeah.
But because they didn't realize until the end, they didn't have time to redo it.
Yeah.
So they just stayed with it. And I think that he
And they
makes
just kept it
and
in.
he
Yeah.
makes the comment about it. And that's when he
Yeah.
was like, nobody's paying attention to what you're wearing. They're just here for the show.
Yeah.
And they're so
So that was also part of it. Was they accidentally
They
got the wrong
wrote it-
pants
so they
and
wrote
they
it
wrote it in.
And they wrote it in,
They're
yeah.
like,
Just to-
whoopsies.
well, what do we do? Yeah. So
Uh,
again, a lot of these things are just the add-ons, the behind the scenes, and everything that they had to do. Just the basic guerrilla work of filming this movie. It was so fucking good.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
So you watched it.
yes, I did watch
Okay.
it. Yes.
What was your
That-
favorite part of the movie? What would you say? It doesn't have to be a scene. It doesn't have to be a scene.
My favorite part of the movie, it was probably just the fact that it's the feeling of going from like 13% to 100,
Yeah.
But through really hard work. I think one of the highlights was again that training scene that when you start the music starts up and he's just doing push-ups and getting hit, and stuff like that, and you're like, oh man, and he's like, this, you're gonna be able to chew up nails or something by the end of this, and I'm like, oh yeah, he's gonna be so cool. And then when he's ready, and then the fight was so cool, and it was a good fight. They both get good hits off each
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
It's like, cut my eye, cut it.
Cut me, Mick, cut me.
Cut me. And then the fact that in the end, like we mentioned before, it doesn't matter that he like didn't win.
No.
You know, like you said, like he went the distance. You know, I'm like, man, this is such a good movie. This is so cool. I get the hype now.
Yeah.
I'm like, now I get it. Now I gotta watch the other ones.
Yeah. Mickey was always my favorite character. I was pissed when they killed him off in 3.
Oh, they killed him off.
It's like
I feel like
it's
you
a
got it,
metaphor.
though.
They metaphor kill him off. Like they metaphorically kill him off.
Well, I mean, no, he
Metaphorically?
dies.
No, but they metaphor. It's a giant metaphor for why he dies.
Oh.
He basically has a heart attack, and Rocky loses heart, and that's why he loses against Clubber.
Clever Lang.
He loses his heart because Mickey dies. And
Come here, woman.
he's-
I make
Okay.
a show what a real man is.
He's not like training like he used to. He's kinda,
Oh,
like,
there's
living the high
there's no
life.
heart in it.
There's no heart in it
Okay.
anymore until
So-
Mickey dies of a heart attack.
Okay.
Clubber like knocks him out of the way, like they were like this whole kerfuffle, like he's trying to get it right, and Mickey goes down, hits his head on the railing, and they like so this is like right before the fight.
Yeah.
So they put him like
Right.
he's in the locker room essentially, like on a table, like just trying to get better the oxygen tank, and he dies while Rocky's fighting.
Wow.
Like Rocky loses heart to the fight, and Mickey dies of a heart, and then Rocky comes back and he finds Mickey's dead.
Damn.
And this is what
Absolutely loses his shit. Like one of the most heart wrenching scenes.
Yeah.
Watch this true guy who's been his like father figure trainer or whatever. Yeah, been in his corner since the beginning. You know what I mean? Just is now gone.
Damn.
And this is where we get the eye of the
He feels
tiger
like it's
from.
his fault.
Oh,
Like,
yeah?
he feels like it's his fault. You know what I mean? 'Cause
Right.
He wasn't there to take care of him, and he didn't do what he should have done. He feels like it was his fault that Mickey died. So he's like
Damn.
holding that throughout most of the movie.
Yeah.
And that's when like Apollo comes in and is like, all right, listen, this guy's a fucking dick. You need to get this guy. Let's train. Forget about it. Just forget about that shit. Let's move forward. Yeah, I mean, you have to move forward and do it.
and he brings him back to like the ghetto,
Old school,
and
yeah, he takes him
old
back to the
school.
old
and
school.
he's like,
Got you.
He's like, you see, and he walks into his gym, and everyone just stares him
He's
down.
got this fucking look of like I'm gonna kill you look on the
And,
distance.
and Paul was like, yeah, you see that? He goes, they've got what you used to have. You ain't got no more. He goes, what's that? What's that, Apollo? You ain't got that eye of the tiger. And that's where we get and that's from there on is where we get the rising up, back on the streets.
Yeah.
Took my time,
Is that how that song blew up?
Yeah.
Because
Oh, yeah.
it's funny, like getting a little off topic. Sometimes there's like a certain reference or certain song that, being someone from not that like a whole generation,
You have no idea where it comes
there's
from.
like every once in a while I discover things like references and like other movies, and I go, oh, that's why everyone knows this song, stuff like that, or oh, that's
Yeah.
why they keep
Yeah.
doing this one certain move. It came from this,
Yeah.
you know.
Yep.
Like there's from a bunch of different things, but yeah, that's just one of them. I'm like, huh.
That's why.
Yeah, so
'Cause
that's so he gets his eye back, and he goes back to the way that he trained when he fought Apollo. Because at this point, like after part 2, him and Apollo are best buddies.
I was about to say, I take it like the second Rocky is about
Yeah.
them doing the rematch because they're
Yeah.
like, there's not going to be a
Yeah,
rematch,
because
and I
Apollo's,
go,
like,
yeah,
fucking
and there's not
pissed.
going to be a Rocky 2, huh?
Apollo by
Apollo
the
was
same was
pissed.
fucking pissed that this no-name chump made it and lasted the distance with him. He's like,
And
that should never happen.
everybody's
Yeah.
talking about it, and he was like, no, I could beat him.
Yeah.
So he goes back after Rocky. So it's
I'm
But
like,
Rocky,
dude.
at that point, Rocky had the fucking
It's-
eye
it's
of the tiger.
literally- it's-
Yeah, he's
Hey,
like,
well, now he
oh,
wanted a
yeah.
taste of it. He wanted to
it's
win.
literally
Right.
it's continuation. Like it's not like part
It's
1,
like
part
the
2.
next
It's like
day.
the next day. So
They come
that's-
out like fucking in the hospital, like
Yep.
out of the hospital. You know, because generally you have to like go get yourself checked out,
Right,
Have
to
your
make sure
head
you're not, like,
cracked in
dead.
for 12 rounds.
Oh, Larry?
They're both like in the fucking wheelchair.
So no, real life. At the end of part 1, Apollo's holding his ribs, right? Apollo seems to be broken his ribs.
No.
Real life, Rocky broke his ribs. Sylvester Stallone broke his ribs. So the
No.
and Apollo, Carl Weathers had a broken nose. So the injury that their characters had during the movie, during the fight, was real life but flipped. So after filming and everything, Sylvester Stallone actually had cracked ribs from them fighting. So when they fought, a lot of that, like training stuff like that, like Sylvester Stallone wanted to be really real. The first guy that he auditioned was an actual boxer. And he said, I can't have this guy. And he go, why? He goes, because there's no way in hell people would believe that me as the character would go the distance with him. So he was like, I want to be a real looking fight, but there's no way. It's like this guy's like he's like 2 feet taller than me. He's bigger than, like, there's no way that I could go 12 rounds with this guy. Because he got hit like for real. The boxer, because at first, like, I forgot the boxer's name, but he was kind of messing around. He's like, no, I want you to Like, we need to make this look real. You need to hit me. Once he hit him for real, he was like, yeah, we can't have this. Because there's no way people would believe that.
Right, yeah.
The way that Carl Weathers got the part, Carl Weathers goes into audition for it. He's auditioning with Sylvester Stallone. And he's, boxing with him. He's like, all right, they're going through the choreography. Okay, I want you to hit me there. Carl Weathers turns around and was like, listen, not for nothing, but I think it would be easier if I actually was sparring with the person, the actual star, like the actor. Sylvester Stallone looks at it and goes, what? He goes, yeah, I'm just thinking, like, it would be easier if I was working with the guy that I was actually supposed to be fighting with. He goes,
all right.
This is the guy that I want. They're like, what? He goes, because he's underestimating me now. And so Carl Weathers had no idea that Sylvester Stallone was playing the part of Rocky. So he was like, I want him because this is the character the character Apollo Creed is supposed to be underestimating this chump from Philadelphia. So that attitude carried. He goes, this is the guy that I want. So
that's how Carl, cool.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So that's how Carl Weathers got the part.
Wow.
And so they went on, and obviously, again, another little.
It worked.
It worked. Again, a lot of
worked.
the dynamic between all the characters were just so fucking good.
Yeah.
Like, there were certain aspects I didn't like, but.
All right, like what?
I didn't like Paulie. I did not.
I think you were supposed to like that.
I thought Paulie was kind of unnecessary.
I think you were supposed to like Paulie.
Yeah, but you could have done it
in the way.
But you could have done it differently, though. I really didn't like the way that he just.
He's a hanger-on.
Yeah. Not just the hanger, like the hanger-on.
Especially in the beginning. Like, by 3, he becomes a little bit more important.
Yeah.
Like, by 3. And stuff like that. But, like, in the first couple movies, he was just a hanger-on.
Yeah,
but
I feel like
he
was, like, always down on his luck. He always,
I didn't like.
I get what you're saying, Larry.
I didn't like how he was treating his sister. I thought that was absolutely fucking horrible, and I really didn't.
I think that was a sign of the times. I think that was very common, especially in that area.
It was.
Like that, you know what I mean?
It absolutely was, and I get that.
Man of the house, and his sister should just be, shut up and stay in the kitchen
right.
and make
he was
food.
Just such a scumbag, though.
But I think I do want to say that
and
it was a sign of the times.
And the fact that they're still like chummy. I was like, how are we still chummy? He's such an asshole.
But Rocky didn't really like him either. He was never really a big fan.
He was kind of more like acquaintances, but like he went, we go to the
Rocky
bar.
in the first one was a collector.
He was a leg breaker. He was a collector.
Yeah, collect for the mafia.
Right.
That's what he did, and that's why Paul was like, "Hey, get me a job." He's like, "I don't know if I could give you a job over there, Paul. I don't know if that's such a good idea."
Not a good idea.
Not a good idea. But that was.
No, because Paulie was never the one who could like stick to the rules and like, all right, this is what you got to do. He was always like angling.
Yeah,
you don't want to be angling.
Yeah,
working for the mob, angling for yourself.
But that was
angling for them. That's one thing, but he didn't seem that type. He'd always be angling for himself.
But just his attitude.
Cement shoes in 2 seconds.
Yeah, just his attitude towards his sister. And again, I do understand it was a sign of the times, right? And again, old movie. Got to look at it through that. I'm not looking at it through 2023, guys. I'm looking at it. I understand it. I felt.
But you could still play that character today because he was meant to be hated.
Yeah.
If you had a guy today who was treating his sister like that, you would hate him.
I would.
You'd be fucking hated, and you were supposed to. You weren't really supposed to like Paulie.
I kind of.
He's in their way.
Yeah. Some of the things he said just were really, bro. I was like, I fucking hate you. Like, I don't.
He's always in the way, even through 4 when he loses all their fucking money.
What do you want me to do, Rocky? I try to do better for you, Rocky.
Signed away.
What are you doing, Paulie? You wrote everything away, Paulie.
Yep.
That's such a good movie. You got to watch the rest.
You can't quote him.
I'll have to watch the rest of them.
Yeah,
I will. I absolutely will.
He bought Paulie a robot.
Yeah,
he bought Paulie a robot.
It was crazy.
Pretty good.
Amazing.
Huge robot. Like I remember when I saw that robot for the first, I was like, "That's cool.
Like
I want one."
This is giant robots, kind of like.
I'm like, we just talking a robot?
No, this is giant. Have you ever seen Black Manta, like the character in DC? Like the big eyes, kind of like that. That's like the head, but it's big, and it's like it was kind of AI. Like it would answer him and stuff like that. Hi, Paulie, and like brought like the cake and shit like that. Like it would answer him.
It's a robot.
Yeah.
There's no human could probably withstand him that long.
No, you got a robot that's programmed to like him.
You can only get a robot.
Program to like him.
Wow, that is a straight up dead ass robot. That's a dead ass robot right there.
Oh, low battery. Look at that.
That's a robot if I ever seen one.
Yeah, he brings him a robot and.
I'm like, I'm sorry, he bought him a what?
Yeah, like a legit robot. It was great.
Wow.
Let me bring my notes. My phone's about to die. Notes. Did you ever watch Harlem Nights?
Yeah.
Okay.
Eddie Murphy,
Don't even look over
Richard
here.
Pryor.
Richard Pryor.
I'm not even looking at that.
Yeah,
that was
don't even
that was a
bother.
great movie, man.
It
Red
was
Fox.
Great movie.
So
What was it called?
Harlem Nights. The guy that plays the heavyweight champ, the guy that did it, was supposed to. If you watch Rocky, because I had to pause, the boxer that takes Rocky's locker, that's him.
Is it really?
So I was like, holy
that's
shit! I
hilarious.
was like, you're a boxer here, but you're also a boxer in Harlem. So that's a
Kind of
quick
like a
little
Mike Tyson-esque
yeah.
playoff in Harlem Nights. You know, we
Yeah.
get the lisp and everything like that. It's kind of like, okay, we know what you're going for here.
Yeah. I find it kind of funny, like all the time, that like the weirdest places that Rocky is smoking a cigarette. He's walking through the gym, ripping a butt. And nobody says anything. I'm like,
Well,
Back in
isn't it-
1976, yeah, nobody
I'm like,
would.
wait, didn't everybody smoke everywhere
Yeah,
all
I
the
mean,
time?
pretty much,
Yes.
yeah. Because like I thought
Like-
about it. Like
Everyone
I thought
on
about it.
planes,
You'd be
everywhere.
at the doctor's office. They'd be
Yeah.
smoking.
It
Like,
wasn't
huh?
like even
Courthouse.
the
You think
80s.
it'd be any different in a
The
gym?
80s, they
nah.
started to kind of be like, eh. But then obviously the 90s, 2000s, like you smoke nowhere. But
Yeah.
in the 80s, they started to like peel back on shit like that. Like, all right, you can't smoke.
Not
in the
even,
gym.
honestly, even in the mid 90s, you could smoke in the malls.
In the malls, yes.
Yeah. But they segregated you to like the outside. Like I think by like,
There's like smoking spots, but now it's like outside now.
yeah, now it's only
Now it's
outside.
like, get the hell
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Now
Even
it's
my-
like
even
500.
my-
Now it's 500 feet away from my door.
Of my apartment complex.
Yeah,
You can't
yeah,
smoke
where you
anywhere
live,
on the
yep,
grounds,
nope.
even
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah.
You want to smoke anywhere, you have to literally leave the grounds. You have to leave the entrance to the whole complex and smoke across the street.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's insane.
That's crazy. It's crazy how everyone went
people
from
still
like,
do. Sometimes
like
we see
you could
cigarette
have
butts every
kids
once in a
smoking,
while.
and everyone's like, okay, but then like a couple like 10, 20 years later, it's like, okay, we'll probably shoot
it
you on
is-
sight if you smoke.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
much what it feels like. Yeah, thank
It,
God.
You know?
it literally is that.
Like that's
It's-
crazy.
Yeah.
That's literally what it is.
Now it's just vaping.
Now, yeah.
Now it's a different nicotine problem.
Yeah. It's okay. No, it's not.
It's okay. It's cotton candy scent.
But it smells like peaches and mango.
And I go, get your peaches and mango cloud out of my area.
I'm trying to walk here. I'm walking here.
I'll be like on the bus and someone's like ripping fat clouds. And I'm like, I beg of you.
I know. I
Please
deal with
Even
at
though it
work.
doesn't smell like cigarette smoke, it's just as annoying.
Yeah,
I
it's like
beg
I
of
get this
you.
big cloud. One of my favorite things about this movie is the relationship between Rocky and Adrian. It's so awkwardly perfect.
Yes.
Yes. Oh my
You
God,
know,
it is.
the
I love
development of
it.
their relationship.
Like they
Because-
both like Rocky put it. It's like they're like kind of fit together.
Yeah.
Like their imperfections complement
because
each
they're
other.
so awkward. Like Rocky don't know
Yeah.
how to act just in general. Like
Yeah.
just with people.
They're
like,
both
he's
so
kinda like,
awkward.
I don't know. Like I don't know. Like you want to like come in? What?
You want to like sit down?
You know,
or-
I got like some
got
chips and like
yeah, I got food.
beer.
I got
What
some
the-
animals
so
right
it's
here.
like- yeah, I got some
Check
animals.
it.
So it's like father like son with some chips and beer.
Yeah, exactly. But again, like their relationship is they're so awkward, right?
Yeah.
By themselves, and now you have these two awkward people together, and I'm like,
It's
oh
so
my
sweet.
God.
Oh my
So
God.
awkward.
But
I
it's-
love them.
But it's awkwardly, like I said, it's awkwardly perfect.
Yeah.
They go
And you
ice
see
skating, you know.
the ice skating.
He's
part.
like, I'm fine. I'll just walk.
I'm just gonna walk. You know, and again, it's just you see the progression throughout the movie of their relationship.
But he
just
helps pull her
building.
along, but she also helps pull him along.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And,
And that was
they
so
need to
complimentary,
be.
and that's
you
and
know?
that's the whole movie, right? They have a lot of scenes where they're filming off the mirror, and that was done on purpose because it was to show the people that are watching this the insecurities of these actors and how they feel of themselves. Not the actors, but the characters, right?
Yeah.
The insecurities
Right.
of these characters and how they feel about themselves. It's they don't understand how to look at things, or they don't, they tend to they think that people look at them in a certain different light, in a different way. So they really don't know how to just approach life in general. So there was a lot of like symbolism. Is that the word? Not symbolism, but there's a lot of different like little nuances like that was done on purpose.
Yeah.
To give you more of the feel that it's not just about a guy that is, from the streets, the slums. So I thought it's the ultimate underdog story.
Right.
But there's a lot. There's other things going on that those stories, they don't get lost, nor does the main story get lost.
Yeah, the main plot and the subplot
they complement each other. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that was something that was awesomely done. It was really cool. And honestly, in 28 days they did this movie.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Now they said that they spent more time editing and doing that, and they had said that the director was like, yeah, every time we try to do something, I had Stallone literally like over my shoulder going, no, I don't want it like this. I want it like this. And they would get into like arguments until Sylvester Stallone finally said, okay, fine, you know what you're doing. And it was like, we would have had this cut up and in a can a lot sooner. But just Sylvester Stallone was constantly on it because this was literally...
It was his baby.
It was his baby. So he wanted to make sure that everything came out the way it needed to come out.
Yeah.
So
Wasn't he like broke or living in his car before this or something like that?
Yeah, he what was it? He did one other movie prior to this. What was it? I don't know. Now I can't remember. Somebody help
Mila
me.
will look it up.
Yeah, he did one because they talk about it in the behind the scenes thing that he was doing something. He did like one other movie and again when he did this, nobody really knew who the hell he was.
No,
we're not gonna take you a story. Get out of here. Like he shopped it around to a couple of different houses and they're like, yeah, no. Or if we do, we're gonna change it completely around. He's like, no, I'm all set.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm glad that it finally fell on the doorstep of where it did and.
Did you find it? No.
Oh.
It's interesting how that kind of stuff happens all the time, like in Hollywood. You know what I mean? Things sort of end up where they need to end up. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's interesting, and things become the way they are. But then there's that, we see it for what it is, and if this person was in it, would it be different? Would it be the same? You don't know. You know what I mean? What was it like? Will Smith was originally wanted him to play Neo in the Matrix series.
Oh. I didn't know that.
Yes.
Huh?
Will Smith was originally tagged to play Neo.
Oh.
in the
Thank
Matrix
God
series.
they didn't.
Right. It's
Oh,
a completely
wow.
different movie
That would
with
have
Will
been
Smith.
different.
Yeah. Here's another one. This is sort of the opposite side. Matt Damon was originally supposed to be cast in Avatar as the Jake Sully character. He said no, and they were going to give him even 1% of the profits of the movie. He would have made like $225 million.
Just from that one movie.
Just from that one movie.
Oh my
Because of
God.
the profits that movie made. He's like, there's the biggest bag of shit every idiot movie anybody's ever made in their
Dude.
career. Yeah.
Yeah.
But would have been the same movie, probably with Matt Damon.
It would have been the exact same movie with Matt Damon.
That character wasn't necessarily the all and all.
Yeah,
You didn't really
and Matt
need.
Damon's really good. In fact, I probably would have
Yeah.
liked him better.
Yeah,
I might have liked the
that's
movie
fair.
even better with him in it.
Because you would
That's fair.
have you would have had the connection of Matt Damon,
Yeah.
so you were like, oh, okay. I feel like
I
that's
think he's a better actor than the guy who played in
I do too.
You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
I feel that that's the same thing as like Leonardo DiCaprio and Titanic. You could have put anybody in that fucking role.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
that-
yeah.
you know, and that's why he never for that movie. That movie got nominated for like 152,000 things.
Yeah.
Best actor was not one of them, and he was pissed. He didn't even show up
Yeah.
because he was like, "Well, I don't understand it." Well, no, for nothing, buddy. Anybody could have played that role. It wasn't.
Yeah.
That was a main character role.
It's funny how many times he's been nominated.
But
Oh,
there's-
Only
but-
recently did he actually get an
I
award.
know. But see, he's put some good work out there, and
Yeah.
some of
Yeah.
it I'm like, I don't know how he didn't win.
right,
But for that
like
particular role,
Unchained, you know.
And sometimes it is, I'm not saying set up, but sometimes it's like, this is probably this guy's last fucking movie. He hasn't won one, so they give it to him. Do you know what I mean? Like that's happened a bunch of times. Like clearly,
Yeah, but-
this
Yeah.
guy's
but
like,
hold
"All right,
on."
he's fucking on the way out. This might be his last role.
Yeah, but that's Leonardo DiCaprio. Meryl Streep. How old was Meryl Streep when she finally got hers?
Right.
They were like, wow, we
Ancient.
haven't given one to you
Right.
yet.
Like, we probably
Shit.
should at some point
Yeah.
give one to her. And even she might not even have been the best that year. Who knows? I didn't see all the movies that she was in when she
I mean,
won.
I've seen a
She could have. She's
couple.
Meryl Streep, so don't get me wrong. I'm not taking it away from her. She's amazing.
Yeah.
But who knows if she was the best that year?
Yeah, no.
You're like, we haven't given one to her.
Yeah.
They finally gave Steve Carell one. For The Office, after what's his name?
Oh, you're
Sheldon.
biased.
Sheldon kept winning. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Well,
Over and over and over again. It was always just
mean-
like, come on.
Well, no, for nothing, but Sheldon kind of carried that show, though.
He did
carried-
fucking every year, and the Steve Carell also carried The Office, and it was amazing performances. And he's still really, just give the fucking guy one. His acceptance speech was amazing. Did you ever see it?
No.
So he gets up there, and that was amazing. I just showed it to Amy last night. He gets up there, he's like, I didn't prepare a speech, but my wife, Nancy, did, so she gave it to me. So he's like reading it. He's like, I want to thank my beautiful wife, Nancy, who looks amazing tonight. His whole thing. I want to thank the casting crew. I could have done it without them. He's like, I don't know about that. I want to thank, I want to go ahead and thank my wife, Nancy, for putting up with all my crap and having our babies, which is a lot harder. And, he just keeps going. It keeps rounding back to thanking her for the sacrifice.
Well, that's what happens when you have somebody else write your speech, right?
That's
it was
hilarious.
a joke. Obviously, he wrote it, but it was hysterical to watch him do this. Everybody's cracking up because they know exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
And finally, I just want to thank my beautiful wife, Nancy, for that's how he ends the speech.
That's
it goes back to like 3
hilarious.
or 4
thank my
times. It's a great. It's on YouTube. You catch it. It's hysterical. It's Steve Carell though.
Yeah.
I like Steve Carell.
I like
love
Steve Carell.
From acting.
I like him. It's good.
I saw him only a couple things, so he never he's never one of those guys that really stayed on my radar.
Yeah.
But I started seeing him things, I was like, actually, you know what, this guy's pretty good. So I went back, I watched The Office, and I was like, no, I feel that's a series that I do want to go back to watch because every episode that I've watched has been funny.
Yeah.
And I kind of like,
Yeah.
I like that premise of the
Once you get over the
yeah.
awkward humor that he portrays, like everything.
But I think
everything he
that's
does is
part of it, though.
Yeah, it's supposed
Yeah.
to be. It's exactly what it's meant
Yeah.
to be.
See-
So if you have a struggle with that sort of awkward, uncomfortable, this person's putting themselves in an
Yeah.
uncomfortable, awkward situation, and everybody's laughing at them, like that can be hard for people to watch. But yeah, it's a great show. Even after
kinda
he
just
left,
watch clips.
even after he left, it was still a good show. It wasn't
Oh, he
quite-
left? How do you have the show
he
not
left
him?
didn't he leave the last 2 seasons, 2, 3?
Seasons. He left during season 7. They had 9 seasons altogether. Yeah, he left. He didn't want to do it anymore. He moved on. He was doing things. So they wrote the character off the show. He was during the show. He gets involved with Holly, who takes over the HR person's spot.
Okay.
And he falls in love with her. Then she moves away. Then she comes back, and they continue their relationship, and they end up getting married. But she's from Colorado, and her family's there. And her parents are both aging, and the dad's starting to lose it. So she has to go back to Colorado. So basically, he proposed to her, and they moved to Colorado. So the last couple of seasons, he's not there. They bring in other bosses. It was actually really good. You'd hate the first boss because it was Will Ferrell. They brought him in for a 4 or 5 episode stint. He wasn't meant to stay. It was just a quick transition boss.
So they
he was,
didn't
he was
Right.
he was their rebound boss. Yeah, because he was
Rebound
there.
boss.
You would love the way they took him out though. He's really I know we're way off topic here, but he's really boistering that he's awesome at dunking basketball. So they take him downstairs to the warehouse, and he dunks the basketball really awkwardly, and then holds on, and the thing lands on him. So it takes him his head out. He knocks him out. He's in the hospital.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
He shows back up at the office with the IV and the Johnny on. He's not speaking real words. We probably should take him back. He just-
Awesome.
That's hilarious.
I'm
oh my
in.
God.
They have to go through the whole boss search.
Gotcha.
And there's a whole cavalcade of Ray Romano.
Oh, really?
Jim Carrey.
Oh.
Played a guest appearance on. Oh yeah.
Wow.
So they just whole boss search. They kept interviewing bosses.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
That's
That's a good way to work with
It ends
it.
up being.
Oh, yeah.
Dwight?
No.
Oh.
Dwight was pissed. He didn't get recommended.
Oh,
He did not
see?
get recommended. He did not. He got recommended, but
So
he
who
couldn't do it.
got
That's good.
No, it's
John Krasinski's character?
no outsider. What's his name from 16? Not 16 Candles, from Pretty in Pink. He played on the Blacklist.
Oh.
Andrew McCarthy.
No, not Andrew
No.
McCarthy. No, what's the other one? Not Andrew McCarthy. Not from 16 Candles. What's his name from Blacklist?
That's
From Blacklist, the main guy?
Yes.
Oh.
Reddington.
that's not.
Hold on.
Wait.
Hold on.
I can never remember
Almost
the
there.
fucker's name, but as soon as you say it, I will scream.
James Spader.
James Spader. Ah, crap,
Yeah.
that's
James
right.
Spader.
Ultron.
Yeah. Ultron, yes.
Oh, he's Ultron?
He
Oh.
Yeah,
plays the
yeah.
boss, and he's really fucking awkward. He plays Robert California, and he's but he's like a douchebag awkward.
All right.
Oh my God.
So I guess that's gonna be my next question
is
is for somebody that watched the whole time, how did that carry off for you? Did they close it well? Did they lose any steam?
So it lost a little steam, but they brought in a whole bunch of extra characters to kind of buffer the fact that Michael wasn't there anymore. But when you brought in James Spader, he wasn't Michael, but he wasn't there all the time because he worked for the main corporation that had bought the company. That was down in
Right,
Florida.
right.
He'd come back and forth. He had a house and whatever. So he'd be up there sometimes. He wasn't there every episode. But the ending, the way they brought it back,
It's
because
good
the
that
whole
they
thing was
didn't
a
try to
documentary.
blatantly
Right,
replace
right.
So
him.
the end of it is the episode before, you see them watch the documentary, and then the final episode is literally a year later, and Dwight's marrying Angela, and the documentary crew reconnected with them to do like a follow up for the DVD.
Oh, okay.
Amazing.
Some extra footage shit.
Right.
So they do one thing where they go like the whole cast is like on a stage at like some auditorium where they're getting a Q&A with a cast of this documentary.
Oh, that was on. So meta.
So it was totally meta, like asking them what it was
meta.
like to be watched for 9 years. You know what I mean? Like of your life, people recording you constantly. It was great. Erin meets her true parents.
Yeah.
Which is played by Ed Begley Jr. and Joan Cusack, by the way. Fucking hysterical. And then Michael comes back, and I cry every time. I'm not even shitting you. Since the medication, I stopped crying as much. But like, because Dwight's getting married, and he needs like a best man or the bestest mensch, which is
right.
So Jim becomes his bestest mensch. But Michael's been gone all these years, and you know how close Dwight and Michael were the entire series.
Right.
So the bestest mensch has to do these like Guten Progs, where he gives him like good things. And his final one is to get Michael back to be his bestest mensch. Oh, so like they're at the wedding. He's literally like, Jim's so like, they're helping Dwight get all set up for the wedding. And he's like, listen, I researched this. I can't be your bestest mensch because the bestest mensch should be older and you're way older than me. He's like, wow, you're not that much older than me. He's like, I can't do it for you. I'm sorry. I can't be there for you. And he looks over and then Dwight looks around and Michael's in the doorway.
Oh,
that's so
and Dwight's
cool.
like, he's crying. This is when I start to lose it. Probably because my brother died. Aww. So like he's like, yeah. You came. And Michael goes, that's what she said. He cries. And they do the big hugging in, things like that.
That's a good way to finish it.
It's fucking awesome. So you have the whole wedding.
Oh, that's so cool.
Fucking awesome. Michael's sitting there like he's crying. He's like he sees Jim and Pam together. Dwight and Angela. Like Mike. It's like my son and my daughter got married. I'm so proud. I'm so happy.
That's so cool.
It's so creepy. But like Pam's like, Michael's so happy. He's living with Holly. They have kids now.
Right.
He's like, he had to buy a second cell phone because of all the pictures he was taking of the kid. So he filled up one cell phone. He had to buy a second one with a second plan so he could have all the pictures.
Clearly, this is Marco's favorite show.
Fucking love this show.
Yeah.
It is one of my all-time favorite shows.
I would be shocked and saddened if it wasn't.
Golden Girls would be the other one.
I could go toe-to-toe with Billie Eilish on Office trivia. She's a known Office aficionado.
Really?
She was on the Office
Well,
Ladies
she is like almost my age, and I can see that happening. I know some people.
Yeah,
I'm like,
people are going nuts about it. So she is like an aficionado of the Office. She watches it so many times. I guarantee I've seen the series more than she has. I'll go toe-to-toe on questions and answers with her.
All right, so Billie Eilish, I know you're listening, so
yes, definitely listening.
Shout out to Billie Eilish.
Yeah, we're gonna ask Billie Eilish on the
at Billie Eilish if you want to go toe-to-toe with Marco about trivia, office trivia.
I will crush.
Oh yeah,
fucking crush.
Yeah, she's actually my age exactly, 21.
Yeah, no. I have every pop figure from The Office. Like it's the one series I have every figure.
Yeah, you also listen to like the podcasts and stuff like that.
I listened to when Brian Baumgartner, who did he was Brian or whatever his name. He was the fat guy. He was the heavy guy.
Right. Yep.
He was him.
The chili guy.
Yeah, the chili guy. He had his own podcast about was doing like behind the scenes, and now Angela and Pam essentially they have their own. They're called The Office Ladies. It's a great podcast. They go episode by episode.
That's cool. So it's the actual actresses.
The actresses, Jenna Fisher and Angela Kinsey, who are best friends. They became best friends because of The Office. When that first time they were doing that basketball scene, then they had to sit next to each other all day. They became best friends, and they've been literal, real life best friends ever since.
Oh, okay.
That's so cool.
They started a business together. And they do this podcast. It's one of the business things that they do together. And they do
I just thought it was just like two fans of the show.
No.
So they're
but they're connected. So they talk to like old stars. They talk to the producers. They have all inside jargon because they can talk to everybody who worked on the show and get all the behind the scenes information. How
they could do all that
done.
stuff.
Fucking awesome. So they had Billie Eilish on to do like a commentary because she was such a big fan of the show. Super fan.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
How did we get here?
I was about to say, man, I love Rocky.
I
know. And Rocky. How do we get stuff?
Fucking tangents. That's how we do it.
Wow, that is how we do it.
I'm doing a bit of research in my mind. How did this get here?
While you're doing that. So back to Rocky, though.
Back to Rocky and the Rocky franchise.
So
let's talk about it. First of all, Rocky won.
Oscars.
Yeah, the Oscars.
The Oscars. Good call.
Steve Carell's speech.
Yep. There you go.
I was like, where the hell?
Yeah, Steve Carell's speech.
Yeah.
That's what we got there. Anyway, the Rocky series.
Rocky series.
Favorite part of Rocky 1? Let's start there.
Shit.
I already said mine.
You did.
Yes.
Favorite part?
Yeah. Is it the final fight?
The final, yeah. I mean, again, it's like it's not like one singularity spot. It's like I love the fight. I love the end when all he gives a shit is about Adrian and the relationship between him and Adrian. I really, really loved. I just that whole their story. Their love story just kind of blooming, right? I really, really like that. What? So, like that,
I
the
like
fight
the Rocky
in the end.
Mickey connection, and they're like,
That was something else I wanted to hit too. It's like, when Mick goes to his apartment, right, and he knows that's. Like, Mickey kicked out. He was like, dude, you're not doing anything. Like, you're sitting here. When he gets his locker taken away from him, he's like, yo, Mick, did I do something wrong? I've been here for 6 years. You took my locker? He goes, no, because he's a fighter and you're not. You're just being a leg breaker. You're collecting. He goes, you've lost faith in yourself, so why should I still have faith in you, right? And then when he's about to make
kicking the pants he needed.
Of course, but then he goes to make this move.
That.
Once he goes to make this move that he's going to fight now, Mickey tries to go be his manager, and he's like, no, what? And one of the lines that Rocky says, he says it a couple of times, right? He's like, "Hey, they didn't know me yesterday. Why should I worry if they know me today?" That was one of them. One of the things that Mickey says, he's like, "You know what? You kicked me out of my locker for 6 years. I was there. You kicked me out of your locker. Now you want to be my manager?" So it's like that kind of whole thing. It's like none of you people liked me, but because I've got this move, now everybody wants to be my friend. Everybody wants to come out of pocket with me. So I kind of understood like the Mickey get the fuck away from me. Like now you want to be part of me, but I can also understand when Mickey's like, dude, I got screwed over. I got fucked because I didn't have guys. So he's almost like he wants to be that father figure for him because now he sees like, you know what? Now you had that opportunity to be something I always knew you could be. And when he's walking down the stairs,
I don't want you to get fucked.
Right. And as he's walking downstairs, Rocky goes off, and I'm like, and so Mickey hears all that.
Yeah.
And there was something that was about that part too. I think that was ad-libbed.
That
whole thing was ad-libbed. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So after Mickey goes to leave, that whole thing that Sylvester Stallone does, that whole speech, that was all ad-libbed. So that was really cool. And then when he goes out, you see Rocky come out, and he's like, "Dude,
and they shake hands.
I got you."
Yeah, you don't hear a word of it. You just see it. The handshake.
And that is good storytelling where you don't need words. You see him come out, he gives him a hug, he shakes his hand, and as they're walking, you always the infamous when it's like the girl and the boy. Okay, if they look back at me, that means that they really like me. When they walk away from each other, they both kind of like turn back to look at each other. They go, "Yeah, man, I got you." That was So that relationship at the building, I'm with you, Marco. Absolutely.
Oh yeah. Oh that's.
But again, this is Rocky 1. There's so many scenes.
So now,
there's so many good scenes.
The next and last question, because we're over an hour, and I know you got to go.
Yeah.
The next last question is this your favorite in the series? Let's just say 1 through 5. One through Balboa. Rocky through Balboa.
It is not my favorite.
All right, so talk to me. Which one's your favorite and why?
Part 3.
Part 3. Why?
Because that's when you see him literally, he goes, we saw the up, he's at his peak, he gets everything taken away from him, and he comes back and he goes, I got to get back to where I was, and I got to get back to top, and he realizes his mistakes, and he grows. And I feel like there was a lot of, you don't know what you have until you lose it.
Right.
And he lost it. He has to find it back, and he gets it back. And that's what he does. And you
by
see
losing
that.
It, he lost his integrity. He lost.
He lost his integrity.
So
that's
he didn't lose the money and all
why.
that shit yet. He just lost himself. He lost the Rocky.
Right, like he lost himself. But it's
he
like
lost the guy who made the champion.
Right, like you see him at the beginning of the movie. He's got the fur jacket, and that's when the statue first gets this. So it's like, Philadelphia's favorite son, and that's when Clubber Lang's like, man, come on down here, woman. I'll show you what a real man is. He's like, what, you want to go with me? He was like, you haven't fought anybody. You're fighting bums. Where's my chance? Where's my heavyweight champ?
Yeah, because he's basically like you're fighting paper champion, paper fighters because you're a paper champion because your manager is just picking easy fights for you that he knows you can win.
And so that deserves a chance. And that kind of comes up. He's like, Mickey, and Mickey's like, well, they're good fighters. He goes, yeah, but are they the right fighters? Like, why haven't I fought this guy? And he's like, because he'll kill you. Like, I don't want to put you up against this guy. So that whole thing happens. He agrees to the fight. Then Mickey passes. So again, like he's kind of like
but he's not really training. Like all of it, he starts training. It's like a show.
Oh yeah. He's got an orchestra, and they're playing the Rocky theme, and Mickey's like, "What the fuck is going on here?"
And kisses.
Right.
Because
Mickey's pissed.
Mickey's super pissed.
Instead of like being in the gym, he's like at a hotel almost.
Yeah, he's in a hotel, like kind of
fanfare of
conference room.
Yeah, watching Rocky train.
It's like an event. There's like bubbles and stuff, and he's like,
Mickey's
"What the fuck?"
Pissed. Like women come up for a kiss and an autograph or shit like that.
Yeah.
While mid like doing shit.
So he
was
essentially
pissed.
became Apollo, as far as like the flamboyancy.
The showmanship.
Yeah, and the showman and stuff like that. So he gets to that level because he's now the heavyweight champ, and he's been a champ for a while.
So it's kind of like a metaphor, like kind of thing. Like, does this always happen when you become champ? You just,
Right.
Like, you take the easy road, and
You know,
start,
and
relaxing.
so he loses his belt. This Club of Lang just destroys him.
Fuck, he kills him.
Kills him.
Right.
Destroys him, and then that's when Apollo
no
comes
heart in
in.
the
And,
fight.
right, and Apollo comes in. He's like, "Dude, you need to get back to the way we used to do things." So he takes him to like this
There is no tomorrow.
Yeah, right.
Fucking love
And he,
that.
and he takes him
Apollo's
and he takes him
screaming at
back to his gym that Apollo trained when he was a kid, and you have all these guys that they're looking ready to like kill him.
Oh, yeah.
and
Right.
he's like,
In the face,
I
like,
don't
who
think
is
that they
this
like
little
me. He
white
was like,
dude?
"No,
I
man,
have to kill him."
it's not that they don't like
Yeah.
you. They got that edge. They got that attitude, right? It's like that's what you had when you fought me. We need to get that shit back. We need to train again because now Mickey's dead, so it's just Apollo's training him.
Right.
So
That's so cool that Apollo trains him.
Yeah, so he's got to get back to that grit. And then he
Yeah.
comes back and, spoiler, he beats Clubber Lang.
No
But
way.
again, another really good
What?
fight. So
I like the ending of that movie, where like the very, very end, like right before the credits.
the
and, like,
race.
No, the end.
Oh,
like,
ding,
doing the
ding.
ring. Yeah. So Paul's like, I just want to have like a sparring match with you. He's like, because you don't understand, like, you shouldn't have beat me. You beat me by like 1 second. Like,
Yeah.
do you have any idea how hard that is for a guy like me? You beat me by 1 fucking second. So they just train in the ring. He's like, all right. So they got all their shit on. They put the mouthpieces on, right? And they're like, all right, we're just gonna go. So you got the bell, and Paul's like, ding, ding, and they go at it. And that's the famous scene. They both
At the
strike
same
each other
time,
at
that's
the
where it
same
stops.
time.
Oh,
And it turns into, like,
awesome.
It's a really, so again, for me, part 3, I mean, they're all awesome except for part 5. They're all really, really awesome.
I agree
For
with
me,
part five.
So I should watch all of them except for part 5? Or do I watch part 5 because I'm already there?
you're already
Yeah,
there.
it's kind of one of those things, and you're gonna watch.
And should
six,
I
you're gonna
bother
watch
watching the
Balboa.
Creed ones too?
So Creed's actually really good. Like the first one, I've seen the first one. I believe I've seen the second one. It's actually an interesting.
How many are
story.
there?
3. They're coming up with a third one.
Third one's coming out.
Okay, cool.
But it's actually a good continuation, but it's not. So Rocky's in the first one.
Yeah.
I can't remember if he's in the second one. I think he's not in the third one. I know he's not in the
Yeah,
third
he's definitely
one.
not on the third one.
Did they kill
I know
him
that.
off?
Oh, in the
I don't know if he's
I
on
don't
the
know if
other
they
one.
kill him off.
I don't know.
I forget if they actually kill him off, but like Adrian's
Wait, what
definitely
is
dead.
Creed roughly in like a couple
the
sentences?
Adonis is
Apollo's
Apollo's son. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought because I
So
was
he
like,
doesn't,
Creed.
he doesn't, so he
wait a
doesn't,
minute.
he doesn't know. I think maybe I did see the first one actually, because he doesn't know that Apollo's his father. He finds out after because it's Apollo.
He's like, man, why am I built like that?
Adonis's mom was one of Apollo's side chicks, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, it wasn't like his main wife. It was one of his side chicks.
Right.
She obviously ends up getting pregnant, and then it comes out that that's actually Apollo's kid. And then he takes on the name Adonis Creed because he doesn't have that at the beginning, does he?
I don't think so, no.
Right. So then once he
I've
finds
seen it once, I
out,
haven't
so
been back
yeah,
and
so
watched it. But it was good. Like I enjoyed
yeah,
the first one.
I think I watched
I
it.
had to watch the second one again because I don't know if I ever finished it. But a good series, like it was a good, taking it. To a
Okay.
different-
All right.
You know what I mean? Like, okay,
I
enough
could take
making
that.
Rocky movies because
Yeah, because you can't.
Fuck.
I mean, Balboa. He was
I'm like,
old in
shit,
Balboa.
man.
but they are
so-
making another Rambo. So
Yeah, I don't
I
understand
still
how.
got to see Rambo though.
You've no.
No.
decent series.
Decent.
Decent.
There's a couple of.
I have yet to see Predator as well.
Fuck.
But I've seen Alien.
Don Amici.
That usually goes together.
Don Amici. Larry's gone.
Brother, I'm trying to catch up. I've got decades to work on.
Original Predator. Like the fucking height of it. The other ones are good. Prey was. I loved Prey.
Yeah, I'm probably only gonna watch
the middle
Predator and
ones fucking sucked.
Prey.
So I didn't see Prey yet. Part 2.
I've heard
Part 2
Prey
gets a
is
lot
really
of
good.
flack.
It does.
I liked it.
I did like part 2.
All right, I'll watch part 2 for kicks.
Part
Yeah, part 2 for kicks. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I like it.
I'll do part 2 while I'm doing homework.
Part 2 relates to Prey because of the gun.
Okay. All right, so watch.
I didn't watch
So
Prey.
watch Predator 2 to
It's
get
in there.
Prey.
The guy,
A little
you
bit.
find the guy who owned the gun is written on, and that's the one he gives to in the future. The Predators gives
Yep.
that to Danny Glover.
Yep.
So it kind of-
Dope.
it ties
Alright,
it back
got
in
you.
again. With the first half of the movie, Van Damme's in the costume.
Van Damme?
Oh, really?
Yeah, first half of the movie, Van Damme was in the actual
Oh,
suit.
I didn't know that.
Oh, wow.
But it was just like something happened by the second half. He's like, he had to bow out and not do it. It was like really hard for him. It was
Probably.
Damn.
Probably a lot of weight on that, yeah.
It was a lot of weight.
I can
It was
only
tough to hear and
imagine.
see. Yeah, it was tough. But anyway, I mean, that's just like a classic.
Right.
Schwarzenegger with Apollo.
Yeah,
Carl Weathers is in
Carl
it.
Weathers is in
Right,
it.
right, right.
Jesse the
Jesse
Body.
Ventura. Before he was the governor of Minnesota.
Minnesota, that's right.
Yep, gotcha.
It's honestly, it's a good 80s action.
Yeah.
Exactly
Get to
what.
the chopper.
Get to the chopper.
Oh, that's that one?
That's that one.
I believe that this was like the height of like the 80s action, like Big Boom.
They
like,
fucking hated each other for a long time.
Wait, who did?
no.
Sloan and they did.
No,
they
no,
hated
no,
each other, but liked each other. They respected each other for the thing where they were like so pissy.
So
they were always
here's the
trying to top
thing.
each other.
Because I just listened to a podcast that I thought I
They
listened
both
to.
talked about it.
I know. It's not that they hated each other. They were always trying to one-up each
Yeah.
other, right? And the way, and I'm going to answer a question that you actually posed in an older episode that I was not a part of, and I wish I was. The way that Sylvester Stallone... No. You did this one with 2 other people that aren't even here. The way that he got the Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Arnold Schwarzenegger, that first went to him. He thought that was an absolute horrible script.
And it was.
So you had talked about and how he tricked him, and I'm going to tell you how it happened. The way that he tricked him is he let it be known. He told his agent, told his manager, hey, make sure people know that I'm going for this movie. Sylvester Stallone heard it, and he goes, fuck that. You tell him I want to do it. He didn't even read the fucking script yet. He had no idea, but all he knew was that Arnold Schwarzenegger was up for it. That's how we ended up
They were
doing
rivals.
it.
Like they
So
always
that's
like,
hilarious.
because they were
that's
like, always,
what it
Who's gonna be
was.
at the bigger box office?
Right.
And it was more of that. Oh, you did this movie. I'm gonna do this movie. He's like, hey, all I'm saying is, I did Rambo, you did Commando. I'm just saying. It's like, oh, so it's that kind of rivalry. So that's how
That's
he ended up
hilarious.
doing Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Arnold Schwarzenegger wanted no part of that,
Yeah,
but
and
he
they were
knew.
sure, yeah.
But he knew that if he put that out there, he knew that it was gonna get back to Sylvester Stallone, and Sylvester Stallone was gonna jump all over that. He did it. He was like, "Fuck! Why'd I do that?"
It was a
movie?
bullshit movie. It was horrible.
So that's
That's
how
hilarious.
that
Oh, yeah.
that's how that happened.
That's like the bottom of the rung for
What's
slow
your
movies.
what's your favorite movie out of the series?
3 is still my favorite,
Okay.
but that's not because I think it's the greatest movie necessarily. Although I think to me it's one of the strongest movies of the series. But that's the one I grew up with because that came out at the right time.
Yeah.
Where I was
Yep.
like
That was a
really
big part of it.
watching
Yep.
movies.
Yep.
You know, it was like mid 80s, between that 10, 14-year-old age. Like, that's when I really started loving watching movies and shit like that. And
Right.
that's when that one came out. So that's the first one I remember really seeing.
Oh,
You know
okay.
what I mean? Remember, it's mid 80s. There wasn't like home video.
Right.
Shit didn't replay. It came out in the theaters and you fucking missed it. I mean,
Yeah.
I wasn't even born when the first one came out, right? Like, what it came out? No, 76.
76 it came
so
out.
I was just 0. I was 1. I wasn't even 1. I was born in January, when it probably came out in the summertime. You know?
Probably
so,
summertime, yeah.
So I was like 6 months old, right? So I didn't see that one. So again, 2 only came out a couple years later. So I wasn't old enough to see that one in the theater. But by 3, I was old enough to see it in the theaters. So I did.
Right.
So that's the one I identify with the most.
Rocky
Well, I
3 came
love
out.
4.
Rocky 3 came out in 82.
Really? Was it 82? Shit.
Yeah.
Shit.
So he pumped those out. Actually, it was 76, 79, 82. Rocky 4 was 85.
Okay, that's the one, yeah.
And that
I know I saw that in the theaters. It
that I saw in the theaters. That was
was huge.
I remember actually liking.
That was huge. Though. He went to Russia.
He went to Russia in the
Mid-80s.
mid '80s.
Yeah, mid-80s.
So I think that may have actually been the first one I watched. To be honest with you,
I remember watching 3 first.
I remember
back.
watching 4
I remember the
first.
Thunderlip stuff.
And
I remember
then I was told, hey, there's other ones. And I went, oh, which is a lot of times how I watch a lot of these older 70s movies, early 80s, was as I saw like the 4th or 5th installment of it.
Yeah.
My uncles were like, hey, no, there's another movie before this that you have to watch. I was like, oh, okay. Or I got, not caught, but I was watching it and somebody was like, oh my God, Rocky. I was like, oh, you know this? No, let me tell you about the other movies.
Yeah.
Okay. So I remember 4 being the first one. And I thought that was like,
It was awesome.
that was awesome. And
Yeah, I
again,
love
that was right in the wheelhouse because I had seen the Rambos. I think, I saw the Rambos before I saw the Rockies.
I saw the Rockies first.
And I was like, this is awesome. So like for me, Rocky IV was...
And of course, Cobra was blew it out of the water.
Hey, want to know what Cobra is? Also, Cobra was supposed to be what Beverly Hills Cop was.
Yes. Yeah, that was...
That's essentially what Beverly Hills...
I'm glad it went a different way.
I am too.
I'm morbidly curious to see what this new one's going to be like. The fourth one.
Oh my God. I just realized the first... I'll keep it quick, but the first Sylvester Stallone movie, it just popped into my head, was Spy Kids.
Oh my!
That you watched?
Yep.
Nice.
In theaters. I watched all 3 of them in theaters.
I don't think I've seen any of those.
I was just thinking, I was like, what was the first one I watched? And I was like, no.
I watched the first one.
He was the guy.
He's the guy.
In Spy Kids.
Yeah, he's the villain.
Oh my God.
All
my
right,
God.
there it is. All right, so let's quickly give it a rating. Rocky 1.
I'll go last.
You're going to go last. All right.
All right, you go first then.
What are we doing out of boxing gloves?
Boxing
Yeah,
gloves.
sure, boxing gloves. That one's fair. Yeah.
Oh, another quick thing about boxing gloves too.
Oh.
I love this movie.
What about boxing
So the
gloves?
boxing gloves that they were using were actually illegal in the U.S.
Not enough
But
fat.
I think it's I think it was because like the design or something like that. Yeah. But they were a lot sleeker looking and they looked better on film.
Right.
So that's why they ended up using those gloves. Again, just another.
Thank you,
Larry.
Movie
Okay, go
magic.
on.
Big fan.
Movie magic. Yep.
I'm gonna go 3.5. I'm gonna go 3.5 because I'm basing it off the whole series. You know what I mean? Based off the whole series. I really liked it.
Don't do that.
But no, I'm gonna do the fuck I want to do. As a movie, I love the movie, but it's a 70s movie. I have a hard time with those, so like I really liked it, but I didn't like it as much as like 3. I didn't like it as much as like 4 as a movie. If I have to go rewatch them, I'll rewatch 3 and 4 before I watch 1 and 2.
Ooh.
For me, with no context for the other movies, other than word of mouth.
Yeah.
I would put it at a. I've been fighting with 4 or 4.5, so I think I'll put. I think I'm gonna do a 4.5.
4.5.
Yep, that's it. That was a really cool movie. I really liked it.
With no context, that's a great number.
No context. It was such a good watch.
Because what you just said kind of makes me wonder. Out the gate, I had this at a 4. No fat. I'm not cutting. I'm not replacing. The way Paulie kind of was, because I was at a 4.5.
Yeah.
But just the character-wise with Paulie kind of takes me just a little bit out of that. And I understand that you had to do that. I didn't like how over the top it was. It was kind of like really brutal. And that part
really whiny.
Yeah, I didn't.
Everything was poor Paulie.
Again,
everybody shits on Paulie. The shit he does to himself, he blames everybody else for.
Right.
His status in life, his lack of accomplishments in life are everybody else's fault but his.
Right.
And I fucking hate that.
But again, this relationship between him and Adrian, I really didn't like that. So that takes me out of my 4.5. So I'm giving like a strong 4. Again,
not that far off.
For me, what neutralized his awful behavior towards her was how good Sylvester Stallone was with her. You know, that neutralized it for me.
Well,
you know,
to Paulie.
Yeah, because sometimes in movies, I can't put my finger on when, but there are a couple of movies that I've seen where they don't even like stick up for them. They just go like, this is like the scene. You just pretend that they're not there or something.
Yeah, but even still though, like there was sometimes like.
He could have stepped in earlier, though.
He could have stepped in
There
earlier.
were a bunch of times where he could have stepped in earlier.
Right, there could have been something more that he said instead of, yo, Paul, you ain't got to talk to her like that, you know?
Yeah, there was a bunch of times where
that was the end. He's like,
you know?
And Paulie was like, yeah, you could get out of my house, too.
Yeah.
This is my fucking house. You get out. And he was like, yo, Paul, man, you ain't got to talk like that, you know?
Or like the time, like one of our first introductions to him is like him throwing the food she just made out the window and in order to get her out of the house.
Food.
And he just kind of goes like, hey, man, that's not cool.
That was Thanksgiving turkey.
Right. Oh, yeah, the Thanksgiving turkey.
That wasn't just regular food. It was fucking Thanksgiving.
Right. And then he just goes, hey, man,
Thanksgiving out the window.
He goes,
out the
hey,
fucking
man,
door.
That's not cool.
Hey, man, that's not cool, Paul.
I don't even know how to talk to her.
Why gotta do that?
Why you gotta do that?
But that being said, this movie is fucking awesome, man. I'm giving it a strong 4, hard 4.
Yeah.
Awesome. Did we get yours yet?
Actually, it was like 4.5.
4.5. That's right. You're 4.5.
Yeah,
Although
you were the
that
outright, I would
reminder
get
is kind of
3.5.
creeping me down to 4.
Oh.
But that's why I want to pick in between 4 and 4.5. But
Nope.
I can't
No, you
because
can't.
that's not allowed.
That's not allowed.
No.
Changing shit up now. All right. Awesome. Thank you, Larry.
Thank you.
And thank you, Mila.
Thank you.
All right. Gang, we are Entertainment Rants at entertainmentrants.com. Drop us a line at engage@entertainmentrants.com. Write us a review on Apple Podcasts. Let us know what you think of the Rocky series, Rocky 1 through 17, Rocky 3000.
With all the Rockies.
All the Rockies.
It's so daunting thing about watching all the Rockies. I'm like, there's
It's
so
a
many
lot.
of them.
Yeah, but it's not a hard watch, though.
Yeah, no, it seems like it's going to be easy to watch, but I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Let us know what you think of the Rocky series, what you think of the episode, and we'll love to hear from you guys. Check back with us next week, and we are doing, what did we say?
Happy Gilmore.
No, Happy Gilmore we just did last week.
Yeah.
Next week we have what coming up? Did we talk about?
Oh, I don't know.
We didn't.
Do we not
pick
come up with
one.
new sports?
No.
We haven't.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, we're still waiting for Larry and
Ooh,
Bruno.
it's a mystery to all of us. When
Oh,
you
yeah. I don't know.
Look
I
out
guess we'll
for
find
whatever
out.
comes out.
Ooh, we're all going to find out together.
Yay.
Thanks, everybody.
Laters.
What are we going to go do?
Rant, let's rant. Hashtag let's rant.
Ranting.
Let's do some ranting.